when you first come to America, the first thing they will tell you is there's a lot of opportunity in this country. Opportunities in America. Guess what the opportunity is at the end of the day? Is having 3, 4, 5 jobs. That is the opportunity. We see it, we grab it, and we do what? We run with it. We're Africans, we are Nigerians at the end of the day. We don't want to be disturbed. We don't want to be stressed. We don't want to go through that time. We don't want to put our money on the line. We don't want to lose. Hi, this is T.Y. Adekunle. Thanks for rolling with me. Thanks for liking. Thanks for sharing. And thanks for all of your comments. Continue to like, continue to share, continue to comment on my video. I really do appreciate you. I saw a video today and that person was talking about, and I'm going to play a little bit of the video as we go on. The person was talking about Africans not coming together to own a business. Let me tell you what our problem is. And he mentioned something. He said we are competing with people that are not there. We are impressing the people that are not there. At the end of the day, guess what happens? We have to impress these people. We have to buy ashrebi. We have to throw parties that is not needed. Nigerians, I read somewhere that somebody said Nigerians would throw party to say thank you God for the success of another party. We have to buy Gucci. You have to come to my house and I open my pantry and you see that, oh my God, they have a lot of food. I have to own like 5 freezers at my house. When I'm eating, I have to use like 7, 6 meats to eat. To impress people that came to visit me that, you know what, I have money. I can afford all this food. I can eat. I can waste it. I am a Nigerian. I am from Africa. We have to buy expensive shoes. We have to buy expensive bags. We have to fill our closet with bags that we don't need. We have to buy all these expensive laces. We have to send somebody to Nigeria and say, help me buy lace worth of $200. When we are having party, we have to buy 2 or 3 ashrebis for one party. We have to buy big cars because we're in diaspora. We have to live American dream. We have to live in big houses. You can't blame us. But guess what? I am only being sarcastic. I hope you guys get it. Nigerians, when we are in diaspora, we are comfortable. And then we'll be talking about those people that are coming together to have businesses together. Majority of American businesses, especially the restaurants and all these places, they will tell you it's a family business. Even within the family, Africans, Nigerians, the business will not be successful. We love that name, entrepreneur, sole proprietorship. We love that name. I am the sole proprietorship of so and so. We don't like the name partnership. We do not like the name called groups. We don't. Because it's not going to work in our system. Our belief system is different from what all those people believe. Those people believe in unity. We believe in diversity. Those people believe in oneness. We don't. We believe in greed. Even some people when you are telling them your ideas, immediately you are telling them your ideas, they are bringing it down. They are telling you, oh, it's not going to work. How? You tell some people and call them. You are not telling them to partnership with you. You are just telling, maybe you see them in a line of business and said, you know what, in this your line of business, why don't you move it higher? Why don't you package it and make it like this? They say, oh, it will not work. It's not going to work. Let me just be doing it small that I'm doing it. Nigerians in diaspora, we are so comfortable with our paychecks. As long as we go to work, we come back, we get paid, we are fine. We live from paycheck to paycheck, and then you wait for another week or another 2 weeks. And then you'll be able to live large again. And that living large is that you are leaving some things behind to cater for another thing. This is the reason why when they call us from Nigeria, it becomes a problem. Oh, my bossy konra. Because I live from paycheck to paycheck. We don't have businesses like you, like the Nigerians that live in Nigeria. We don't. We are so scared. We are so fearful. We don't want to run into government problem. But we can use our licenses and put our licenses down and said, oh, I'm applying here. Here is my license. Let me work under you. I put my license into jeopardy. It is not as if that people are not still running after that your license. The people that you are working with, they are still running after that your license. You can lose your license, whether you have a business or you don't have a business. So we are so fearful. We are so scared. We don't want to take risk. We don't want to move ahead. We are just too comfortable. Let me just get my paycheck. If I buy food today, I don't have to pay bills tomorrow. Even though the bills is there, the bills can wait. My account can overdraw. They can charge me. It's okay. I'm not looking for living large. My large is you come to my house, see that I'm living in a big house. I go to work 9 to 5, 3 to 11, 7 to 3, 11 to 7. I come back home. That's how we live. Businesses, it is not in our Africans in diaspora. It is not. It is not something that we want to work into. Even the people that you are selling your business to. Okay, let's say we have somebody, she's a Nigerian and she's selling Nigerian clothes. In this time and generation, we prefer to go to Nigeria. They will help us buy. This is the time of $100. When I give $100, I can buy 2 clothes. Instead of paying you $100 to buy one. That works for me. The people that are sewing, we don't sew anymore within ourselves. We send it to Nigeria. At least, thank God, the people that are doing makeup, they can sell their business because you cannot remove your face and take it to Nigeria. Make me up and bring my face back. We take advantage of each other. We see people that are doing business. We don't want to pay them. Nigerians in diaspora, they are worse than Nigerians living at home. They don't want to patronize you. Instead, they want to put you down. The ones that are trying to set up a business in America, they are waiting on that day that that business will collapse. That day that the government will come and knock at your door and say, hello, you are in trouble. That is what they are waiting for. You can blame us. We are comfortable. We are getting paid. We get our paychecks. When we work, they cannot mess with your paycheck. So because we see this opportunity, we grab it. Opportunity of getting paid. We grab it. We go to school for nursing so that we can get a job immediately. We go out and get paid. Majority of us, it is not something that we wanted to do. Back in Nigeria, somebody will tell you to go and do nursing. You will look at them like, is this person crazy? But it becomes a hot cake between our Nigerians, between Africans in diaspora. Because we get paid. You can hold 2, 3 jobs. It is okay that we go from one place to the other. You leave this job, you go to the other one. You leave this job, you go to the other one. Even all these big houses, we don't sleep in them. All these big cars, we drive them from one place to the other and we park them for 8 hours. Sometimes we park them for 16 hours. We don't touch it. A lot of time you are driving home, you have to take a nap on the side of the road. All these things we are comfortable with. We are good. Working 2, 3, 4 jobs. We are fine. At the end of the day, what are we all looking for? Money. And we get the money. So what else do we need? We don't need any business. We don't need to move on. We don't need any packaging. We don't need to add some spices into our lives. We don't need the risk because we're getting paid. Hopefully, one day, one time, Nigerians in diaspora, Africans in diaspora, our eyes will open. In abroad, a lot of opportunities that you can count on. A lot of government business that you can do. What they're asking from you is to be transparent, to be reliable, to be accountable. That's what they're asking for. Once you are able to do that, you are good to go. But Nigerians, we don't want to be stressed. We don't want to be stressed. Let me just go fill my application. Let them call me. How Nigerians we can fill application? Child, when you see somebody today, they will tell you, if you see that person today and said, oh, where do you work now? They can mention like 3, 4 places. And then if you see them tomorrow, 3 to 4 different places. How we love to fill application. How we love to run after jobs. They will tell you, they fire you from here, you go to the other. You already have 3 jobs. They cannot fire you in all of your 3 jobs. It's not possible. So when they fire you here, you still have another one. I'm guilty. Somebody like me too. At least when I get to ShopRite, when I get to the store, I can spend the money. Oh my God. We love our credit card. We cannot do without those credit cards. You come to our house is flashy, our house is nice, our house is beautiful, our house is phenomenal. It's all, at the end of the day, on credit.
My question is it possible for African people to be like that? Is it possible that black people can come together and own these things? The answer is no. Why? Because when black people come together, it's either this one wants to sleep with this one's wife, or this one is using voodoo to affect this one, or this one is tearing this one down. And it's so sad that our division is tearing us apart. We are missing out on these things. How possible is it for black people to come together and say, you know what, each of you, let's make a certain amount of money and let's invest in properties. Let's do things so that our children can have a share of wealth in this part of the world. No, we can't think like that. Rather, we think about tearing each other down. And our division has led us to this. We work so hard. Sometimes we don't even know where our money goes. African people, we spend so much money buying stuff we don't need to impress people that we don't like. Why? Because within us, there's so much competition. And the competition is making us lose a lot of money, lose a lot of wealth. Tomorrow now, when an Indian person becomes the Prime Minister of Australia, or an Indian person runs for a big office in this country, we'll have so many things to talk about. Meanwhile, they won't realize that their ancestors came to this country many years ago and paid a heavy price. African people, our ancestors told us that together we are rock, but divided we are sand. We need to put away all these tribal lines, all this mindset of slavery. We need to start thinking about how we can come together and begin to own stuff like this. Because you know what? Time will go ahead of us with or without our permission. Time will flow with or without our permission. So it's time for us to begin to come together as one to build ourselves and economic value for our children in the future.